Well, I got a chance to sneak away to Snohomish, which is my favorite place to antique in Washington State. So I went with some of my team members and had a meetup for my behind the scenes group. And the first place we went to was the Maple House Collective. So if you know Phoebe Elliott, her style is fantastic. She has for many years had or maybe it's just a couple years, but she's had a pop-up in her barn, so a pop-up shop once a month that I loved to go to, and she's not doing that anymore. She's just renting her barn out for events. But she has now this shop that's open daily, and it's the first time I've gotten to go see it. I just love how she styles. I love her taste, and I always feel like I'm just stepping back in time, just magical. Everything feels European, everything feels vintage. I just love the whole curation that she always comes up with. And she was in a magazine. Was it Country Home? I have got to look. I'll link it in the description here, but she was just recently in a magazine for her home tour for Christmas, and you have to see her home at Christmas. It's to die for. So I had a really wonderful time in her shop, and then next we went to the Snohomish Exchange, which is kind of on the edge of the main strip here, and it's my favorite, quote, thrift store. So it's basically all antiques, like weird old curiosities and amazing finds. Very antique, but thrift store prices. And so the furniture and the books and the glassware and the lights and the ice skates and doll houses and just so many awesome things. I always find really, really great things at this store. So I'll show you here in a moment what I did find. We had a lot of fun looking in this store. There's just different things that I like about different stores. Another place I like is My Eclectic Home. You have to go there. It's a great spot. And then the Looking Glass Coffee is a darling coffee shop. And you'll see what I mean here. Just look at this furniture setup that they have in here. Really great atmosphere. And it's the furniture that does it for me. And these big picture windows and that huge painting. You really must see. Let's take a peek at what I found in Snohomish when I was antiquing yesterday. I was looking for oval frames. I had my silhouette done by a professional silhouettist artist. It's an amazing experience, actually, having somebody with the knowledge and the skill set that they had in France in the 1700s. If you were in the upper class, you would have paintings done, portraits done, and lower class would have a silhouette done. And it might be the only capture that they have of their likeness ever done in their whole life. So it's really special. There's only, I think, a few hundred people left that even know how to do silhouettes, and so her name's Brandy Still. I'm actually going to link her in the description below, but she does weddings and birthday parties and reenactments and just any event you can think of that this would work for. She will come and do that for a party. And then you also, of course, can email her or text her. I mean, she does, like, she'll do your dog. It's so sweet, how they look in the end. Now I'm really, really interested in silhouettes, and I have 2 frames now. I'll get a mat for this one, but we'll get those up on the walls. First 2 things I found. Now this isn't nearly as exciting, but this is just my advice to you. When you find wooden rings like this at garage sales and things, I mean, these are 50 cents each. So I always collect them when I see them out and about, and they just really look especially good with pleated drapes. So I have these because we are changing things up with the living room drapes. Then I found this. I kind of have a soft spot in my heart for cute muffin tins, and I don't really need any more, so I walked away from this one a few times. But in the end, I decided to get it because I am working on a bathroom makeover going on, and I am trying to squeeze it in there with all the Christmas decorating and try to get this done by the end of the year. And I thought this would be good in the drawer for bobby pins and, you know, different types of hair bands and things like that. So yeah, that's the idea with that. Then I found these little honeycomb or beeswax. I found these little beeswax candles. I got 6 of them for $4. I just thought they were super sweet. I couldn't resist them for the price. One of the things I want to do this year for Christmas is to have a candle in every window. I've been collecting each year, getting more and more of the battery operated taper candles. And so I would love to have a candle in each of our windows. We have 36 windows, so I collect a few more candles each year, and then that also means that I need to get the brass candlestick holders. And I really love, you know, really good patina and different styles, not too modern, not too big. So I kind of have some boundaries on what I'm looking for with these candlestick holders, but I found another one at a good price. I just need 2 more this year to complete my set for 2023. Then I love mismatched silverware. So if I can ever find pieces that have really good detailing, they don't have to match, so that's easy. I don't want them to look too modern. Look at this. It's the handles that really got me, and they were $1 and $2 each. So I got 8 knives to kind of bulk up my set in the kitchen. I especially love finding serving pieces because it's really nice when I have company to set out with, you know, a special little knife or a cake server or something. So I would like to find, I'll show you what I found, but I would like to find a nice like cake set, you know, like they have at weddings, but I would like a really vintage looking set, and even maybe a couple of little tongs. There's a few things I'm looking for, but if you are starting out on this journey of having vintage looking silverware, I would start with a few serving pieces. And along those lines, this is one of my favorite finds yesterday, was this beautiful French cookbook. And at first I thought it was in French, but it's not. It's not. So Sarah can handle this. And I just thought I would love to make breakfast and have something very beautiful in French. First printing at 1961. So I'm going to be having some fun with this, trying some desserts and different things to make life that much sweeter. Then I do collect black umbrellas and walking sticks and canes. Yeah, bamboo handles. So I grabbed this $8 one, this black one. We're needing an extra umbrella because we wrecked our last one in the wind. And as you know, I am now a flower farmer, not a flower gardener, a farmer, full-blown farmer, because I grew about 6 successful dahlias this year. And I need to start getting containers. So I just am going to be collecting containers that are $5 and under and having them in a shelf in my kitchen so that when I give out bouquets of flowers, I'm ready. This is the first to my collection. This little jar without a lid. Here are a couple more pieces. This is somewhat of a cake server. Got it for $3. Thought I wanted a bigger one, but this is a good start. I'm happy with that. And then I got this ladle just in time for Thanksgiving. Little $3 one. Really good detailing on that. I got these little crystal, they're kind of like saucers. I either could use them sort of like a lampshade. My thought is I could use them in the sconces for the bathroom that I'm remaking.
Or you can use them, you know, sitting like this on sconces, and then the candle, it comes up this way. You could do that too. I'm actually not 100% in love with these, so I may not keep them, but they were $3. Thought it was worth a try. They're made in Austria. So these might look nice in the bathroom. In the lighting, I'm adding sconces. All right, and then we have a couple of seasonal things. I found in that junk store, the Snohomish Exchange, I like to get their wheat. They sell bundles of wheat. So this was $6. Kind of messy, kind of hard to store. And then the last piece is in it, but I got this for a lot less, and I thought this would look nice on a tabletop. I definitely will be incorporating it in my spring decorations. So when you're out thrifting and antiquing, some of the best things that you can find are going to be, you know, household items and containers and different seasons. So for instance, my bird cage will go really well with the spring, and then the wheat goes really well in the fall. So that's a good thing to just always have on your mind, just always looking when you're out shopping.
So let's get to styling some of this. I was really excited. In the middle of this, I got a package delivered, and my French lamp has come in, my Regency lamp. So let's take a peek. I bought it off Etsy. I feel like I got a good price. I paid a good price for this. It was about $150, and some places are selling these for $800, $1,200, you know, $1,500. So this one, I think it looks a little brassy. I might change the color, because if you get it too shiny, it can tend to look cheap. You can tell me what you think. Oh man, it looks so cute when it's on in the corner. I just love this corner more and more. And then we have my umbrella, and we just need to change this purple on the bird cage. So I like to use Rub and Buff. My favorite color is Antique Gold. Actually, that's kind of the only one you need. And you can use a brush, but sometimes I just put a... So you can use a brush, but sometimes I just will use a, you know, latex.
I randomly said in my Instagram stories that I wanted to start something that would act like a Christmas countdown, where we could work together on just the different DIYs and handmade items that you need to have ready so you can decorate on time for Christmas. You have to start earlier. And so I started this group on a whim called Handmade Holidays, and it exploded. There are so many people signed up to do this with me. And what I'm going to do is just email you once a week with a list of the things I'm making for my home tour, and then you can make them if you want and be ready, you know, on time for Christmas. We're going to do things like these vintage postcards. There's going to be a lot of glue gun, printable, spray paint types of things. Like, it's a good beginner group, I think. So you'll have 24 different little DIYs to do, and beautiful ornaments, lots of ornaments, printables, things like that that I'm getting together for my own house, and I thought that I would share with you as well. So I will put a link in the description below, and you can join me for Handmade Holidays. It'll be a new thing, I think. Okay, you guys, take care, and I will talk to you next week.